Welcome back to JB Reviews. I have a 2024 Mustang Dark Horse. And today we're going to do a quick walk around on this beautiful pony car. Special shout out to Larry H. Miller for allowing me to do this video. If you are in the market, be sure to ask for Diego. He actually ordered this for a customer, and this might be the first one here in Utah. Now, in case you were wondering some of the specs, here's everything at the top, including the color, dark matter gray. It is a metallic paint. And here's all the standard equipment. Be sure to pause it. Down below are all the options. So not many on this build. Destination is $1,595 with a total price of $66,155. And in case you want to see the fuel mileage, here it is. Now let's go ahead and start off with the headlights. Full LED. You have a 3-beam for the projectors for low beam and the high beam. And they have a really sleek appearance. It almost looks like the Ford GT. Almost. But yeah, here are the taillights out back, full LED. And then you're gonna have your reverse light front and center. Now up front, you do have a big face for the grills. A lot of air does feed into the engine. Dual intake on this 5.0. You can see that Dark Horse up front. And then check out the splitter. It gives you that aggressive styling up front. And then you have what looks to be like a heat extractor up top. And then check out this gray paint. You can see some of that metallic. And then you do have a stripe right here. It says Mustang Dark Horse. And it kind of has a matte finish too. Now off to the side, 19-inch wheels. There is a handling package for this car, which will give you 315s out back. But if you're ordering your car that way, you may not get it quick enough. So really big brakes. They are Brembo, and these are the Pirelli P0s. 255 4019 up front. They do add a fabric material for the wheel wells. And then here's your badge. And then here's a look at your side skirt right there. And your mirrors. Now these do have a different appearance. They do match this graphic on the front, so it does go well. Painted door handles. And blind spot monitoring for the mirrors. And then out back, still you have big brakes, and the tire size is going to be 275 40 19. And again, you have that fabric material for the wheel wells. I'm actually shocked to see that 87 plus. I would have maybe thought 91 would be the minimum for this type of car. Now if you look at the spoiler, really nice attention to detail. Again, you have that different gray color from the paint, and then you have a black accent right here. Really nice detail right there. And I will say this is probably the best designed Mustang of all time. So let's go ahead and remote start it and see how it sounds. Wow. Now if it was a cold start, it was a little bit louder earlier, but we did move it from the other lot to over here. So it's a little bit quieter, but let me go ahead and show you guys some of the modes for the exhaust. So all you have to do is just hit the button down below, and it'll take you to this menu. And you see right here, you have pretty much no sound from the exhaust. This does open it up, and then you have a sport mode, and then this is going to be your loudest for the exhaust, putting it in track mode. You can kind kind of see some of the speakers in the back. Shark fin with your high mount for your brake light. And then here's that gray in the shade. This car has a really nice appearance. Like, I'm actually shocked by how much I like the Mustang. I'm not a Mustang fan actually, but this is actually on another level for me. Now let's go ahead and pop the hood. So what's so special about this engine under the hood of the Dark Horse? Well, for starters, they are using forged connecting rods that were found in the GT500. It's also 32 valve, and it's going to have aluminum heads and block. They also strengthen the camshafts, and they have unique engine tuning for this setup. Port and direct injection, by the way. So that's going to give you 500 horsepower that comes on around 7,200 RPMs and 418 pound-feet of torque that comes on just under 5,000. So yeah, there's a lot to be said about this engine. You can kind of see too, you have that tower brace right here. So they did strengthen this chassis, and when we drove it from the other lot over to here, you could really feel how tight it is. It's a very tight car. Now, as far as the interior goes, this is a beautiful design. The door card does have a lot of soft touch right here. Down below, which is pretty typical, hard plastic, but leatherette right there, blue stitching, and you have some suede material. Here's some of your seat memories and some of your mirror and window controls. The handles right here is all finished in hard plastic. And then check this out. Seats have a lot of bolstering, and you can see some of that blue stitching, suede with that leather. And the steering wheel is pretty cool too. Let's go ahead and step in. You can see they have what looks to be suede, but it's not, right here. And this does look like carbon fiber, but it's not. Blue stitching, you can also see it on the dash on the front. Again, this looks like carbon fiber, but it's not. This plastic, but it does have a nice appearance, which is always half the battle. Here's some more controls. Let's go ahead and pop the trunk and go back there. So what you would typically expect on the Mustangs, not a big trunk. Looks to be a subwoofer out back, and below there's some storage here, air compressor for your tires if you need to air them down at the track. They do not give you a handle to pull this down, which would come in handy because most people are going to try to pull it down from your spoiler, which is not a good idea. But let's go ahead and start up the car so you guys can see these huge screens. Now if you push the button one time, they give you some animations on the cluster, which is a 12.4 inch screen. You also have a 13.2 right here. Air vents are just below that screen. And we're gonna go ahead and push the button with the brake down. Really nice sound. And I didn't show you guys, but here are the pedals down below. And your dead pedals right there, just finished in plastic. And then just check out the interior. They went all the way back here with that leather wrap. And they really didn't have to do that because you don't really see that. They could have just finished it off with plastic, but hey, I'm glad they did that. Mechanical. Actually, yeah, is this mechanical parking brake? It doesn't stay up. So yeah, here's your parking brake right here. It tells you to press brake pedal and push handle down to release parking brake. So yeah, this looks to be electronic parking brake here. But this is the automatic 10-speed transmission. I don't think I mentioned that. And you have your wireless charger, 2 USBs, 12-volt plug right there. Now if you push this button again, it does take you to this screen. So there's so many customizations for all of this. So you can really make this meet your needs. Now on the steering wheel, there's a few things. I'm gonna push this button so you can change the steering input for the car. You also have a few drive modes. So the first one is going to be normal, and love the animations that they give you too. It reminds me of Need for Speed. And then you have drag strip, slippery, custom, and then it goes back to normal, which is the last one here. Now here's some of your drive modes, like for your adaptive cruise control, and how you can pretty much go through some of the menus on the screen. Oh, I love this. This is basically your gauge detail, so it shows you your cylinder head temp, engine oil temp. I don't think I've ever seen cylinder head temp, transmission oil temp, axle oil temp. I've never seen that one. That's pretty cool, actually. And a few more things here. And then back to the top. Now, you can see here, this car does have cooled seats, and it's gonna have heated seats as well, dual climate control. Let's go ahead and go back. There is a home button at the very top here. Let's see what happens. So this is the home button. It shows you the navigation, your audio, and then your phone. And then you have a few things on the side so you can set up the screen. Let's hit features and see what you have. Okay, so here's pretty much everything you see. Now if you want, you can get rid of what you see on the right side here. And if you scroll through, they have just a few other things that you can view on the side there. Now navigation, if you want that to be full screen, you just click it right there. But yeah, this is a really nice interior. Here's some of your controls down below, volume controls right here, cup holders, and all this is soft touch too. And then center console. Right here. They do give you a 12-volt plug. And let's go ahead and jump over to the passenger side. Same design you guys saw on the driver's side. And here's the dash. Now up here, this is all soft touch. It's like a vinyl material. Some of your storage for your glove box. And up top, LED lights. Home link is right there. And a place to put your sunglasses. And they do provide a power seat to slide the seat forward and back on both sides. And then you have this handle here. Not a lot of space out back, for sure. No cup holders, no USBs from what I can see. This is probably just put back here for insurance purposes. But you do have some seat back pockets. And they do give you a handle for anyone that is sitting back here. One last thing, I wanted to show you guys the back of the car in the sun so you can see that diffuser just a little bit better. Parking sensors. And they do advertise this car to be just under 4,000 pounds. If you look at the numbers on the door, you can kind of see right here. The gross vehicle weight rating is 4,760 pounds. Now I didn't mention, but the rear axle is a 355 and it's torsion. And then if you take this number, subtract it from your gross vehicle weight rating, this car basically weighs this much on the curb. So when you add some options to the car, you're gonna increase the weight a little bit, but that's probably more in part to that 10-speed transmission, I'm willing to bet you. If you get the manual, you're gonna get a little bit lighter car. But I hope you guys liked the video. Special shout out to Larry H. Miller, Super Ford. If you are in the market, be sure to let them know you saw the video. See you guys soon.